The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
Good morning to you. You're listening to the Big Dog, WIFO FM in Jesup, 105.5 on your FM dial, the Big Dog Country. Butch Hubbard here with you, along with Bob Morgan on this 19th day of December. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Mike Birchford in Blackshear, by the Wolf Animal Hospital on West Cherry Street, by the Women's Health Center in downtown Jesup on Cherry Broad, and by Murphy Builder Supply on Northeast Broad Street. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good?
Yep.
All right.
I'm good.
All right. Well, yesterday you told me that Sheriff John Carter was coming here. I see the chief deputies in here also, Donnie Ray. And Bob, what are they going to be talking about today?
We got a wide variety of topics to talk with the sheriff, but again, talked to him yesterday, asked him if he'd come in. Always a good time to come in during the holidays, a lot going on with the holidays. And first of all, I just want to wish y'all Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Like I said,
Merry Christmas.
You've been a regular on the show over the years. I appreciate you coming in. Like I said, talk to you. There's a lot going on in the county and the city. I'll get Donnie and I'll get this first topic out of the way. You know, we got one juvenile arrested in the vandalism at Howard Warrenfield. I know the police department is working on it. I talked to Officer Hamilton yesterday, but we know more than one person was involved due to the incident and being able to move all that equipment, all that. So why do you think the $1,000 reward hasn't coughed up the other culprits of this event?
I'll be honest with you, I thought the $1,000 reward would get some names to us. We get names, but it's just putting evidence with it. And Chris is doing a great job with it at the police department. He is. He's very thorough in what he does, so I'm looking for some more charges to come.
Right. I mean, hopefully we'll get the other kids that are involved. Like I said, because as people understand, there's a lot of damage done to that field. It's going to take a lot of money to repair that field. So hopefully the people that get caught will recoup the cost of repairing that ball field.
Yeah, and people don't realize the coaches and the players put a lot of work on that, along with the home run club. The kids work on that field after every practice. You've seen it. They go around, pick up, and rake it, and everything else. And, you know, I know they was disheartened when they seen it because all of them was calling me that Sunday afternoon, was talking to me about it. But it was several $1,000s worth of damage. It wasn't just a one donut.
Juveniles different than adults unless it's a serious, like I said, criminal damage to property. He's not in jail, but he has been charged. Talked to Officer Hamilton. He'll appear in juvenile court, and the judge will deal with him at that time. But he'll face some serious, punishment for the damage once he goes to juvenile court. So, and from talking to the officers, they've talked to him. But he's not giving up any of the other people that were with him. So
that's what I'm.
But again, just want to emphasize there is a $1,000 reward. So if you want some cash money for Christmas, leading to the arrest and conviction of those people involved, we would appreciate that information. So just want to make sure people understand that story's still out there and the investigation's ongoing at this time. So far, one juvenile has been arrested, 16-year-old. Again, he's been arrested and charged with criminal damage to property. Sheriff, also there's some other events out there. I tell people all the time, what about this case? What about this? I tell them the story I get from you, the GBI, and the DA is called an open and active investigation. We got several. Had the assault in Kville, no arrest there. Had the shooting at Luther Harder, no arrest there. Still the lady that got hit by the vehicle at 1 a.m. in the morning, her and her baby died, no arrest there. So we're continuing to follow those stories, but again, I get that. That's the word I get from everybody. So I just asked you yesterday on the phone to come in and please explain what an open and active investigation means.
Wow. I thought she was going to ask me about the case. I was prepared for that.
You said you couldn't talk about the case.
Well,
I understand but I just want people to know that we are following that. And if the investigation, people act like it's just over with, but it's not. I mean, there's toxicology reports that have to come back, GBI reports have to come back. That's what Jackie explained to me. There's
all that is into it, and we live in the day of social media. Everybody wants instant information, and it's investigations aren't designed that way. We have to go with where the facts lead us. We're into the fact finding business, not social media and that kind of stuff.
We get knocked off the air.
No, I'll tell you when if it does. Go ahead.
All right, I just want to make sure I wasn't in trouble.
has been issued for Glenn County, McIntosh County, and Wayne County, effective until 8:04 a.m.
Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. You just heard from the EAS, the Emergency Management System, that we are under flood watch until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. All right, Bob, back to your comments.
I just didn't want to interrupt
All
John.
right, I'm going to try to give you at least a generalization anyway. But open case means there's still an active investigation that is part of the investigators or sheriff's office caseload. Now, that being said, that can be, we may have assistance from outside agencies like the GBI, FBI, DEA, or whoever, whatever it pertains to, may be coming to help us as part of the investigation. Does it mean an arrest is going to happen? Maybe. Maybe not. In most cases, investigators are investigators, work a case until all credible leads are exhausted. If charges can be filed, an arrest warrant's applied for, and if it's issued, it'll be served, and that case will be referred to the DA's office or state solicitor's office, depending on whether it's a misdemeanor or a felony. If there is insufficient evidence for probable cause that specific individuals committed the crime, there's several things that happen or can happen. The case is cleared because we don't have enough evidence, or we can't go, that's just it. We find enough that we can't, the crime didn't get committed maybe. And it may be listed as unsolved. Or case may be listed as inactive or what we call cold cases until, if we get more evidence to receive new evidence, let's say, that we determine is credible, we'll revisit the case immediately. A lot of these cases, delays in them are like you said a while ago, we're waiting on stuff from the crime lab. We're getting new information. We're re-interviewing people sometimes. Because sometimes we get new leads that we want to go back and talk to somebody about. And those are why a lot of times it takes a little bit longer. A lot of times the DA will present these findings, and we'll give them to them whether we're through with the case or not sometimes. And as we get more evidence, we will share that with the district attorney's office. At some point in time, she will determine whether she wants to present it to the grand jury or not, or if she thinks she's got enough evidence to present to the grand jury, and they will either true bill it or no bill it.
Right, that's where I guess I'm getting confused, and you can help clarify this, because I've talked to GBI agent Stacy Carson, and she'll say sometimes the investigation is completed, we've turned it over to the DA. So I always thought the GBI or the law enforcement made the charge. But you're saying now, they're saying now that the district attorney will look at the evidence and decide.
If we have enough probable cause to take the warrants, we will do it.
All right.
If we don't think we've got enough, we'll give it to the DA, and she will make the determination of whether she wants to present it to the grand jury or not. Well, she thinks she's got enough.
Okay, that's where I was confused. Like I said, I thought law enforcement always made the charge, but you're saying the DA sometimes has to make that decision whether or not she's got enough evidence, and she'll take it to the grand jury and let them decide. Is what, like in the Luther Harder shooting situation, is what I keep hearing.
It could be. I don't know what, because I don't want to speak for her, because I don't know what she's going to do. I know that. We're not completed with everything in that case either.
So that's not completed yet?
No, and neither is the sexual assault in Kville.
Right.
And neither is the
hit and run. The incident where the lady died.
Right.
Getting hit
exactly.
at 1 o'clock in the morning. Right. So I just want to make it clear that all those investigations, and like I say, we're following them as they develop, but they are still ongoing. Like I said, that's what we get opening it. There's no sense doing the story every day, but that's what we get from law enforcement, GBI, DA's office, open and active investigations. So I just want you to clarify what the open, and that's what it is. You're waiting on reports from the GBI.
Open and inactive, or it can be open and active, is what I'm saying. Just because it's inactive doesn't mean it's a closed case either.
Right. So arrest could be forthcoming. Just
it could be, yes. Yes, it depends, because, once it's presented to the grand jury, if they true bill it, then we have a first appearance bench warrant, which we arrest the person on, but they do have a bond on a first appearance bench warrant because it came out of the grand jury. But those are things that could happen.
Now, John, how do y'all determine whether y'all going to make the arrest or you going to turn the information over to the DA's office and let them make the decision? How do you make that decision on how y'all going to do that?
Well, if we don't believe that we've got enough probable cause to take out a warrant,
So that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
we got to see, if we think we've got enough probable cause,
Mm-hmm.
and
then
of course, we're in discussion with the district attorney's office as well as whatever agencies assisting us with a case. So we try to keep each other informed, make sure we're all working together, and the goal is to solve the crime.
Right. So it's just the amount of evidence that y'all have.
Or determine if a crime was committed. It could be.
Okay.
Again, just joining us, Sheriff John Carter in the studios with us, Chief Deputy Donnie Ray, I'm sorry. But a lot going on. It is the holiday season. There's a lot of warnings that law enforcement want to give to people as far as, when you go shopping, make sure you lock your vehicles. If you're downtown, the old days used to be able to leave your vehicles unlocked, but unfortunately we're not at that time. A lot of people fall victim to just simply not locking their doors. Also, people go shopping and they come back and they think they can just leave the presents in the vehicle under the carport, and that turns out to be a disaster as well. So you've got some safety tips I know you want to pass along to our listeners, let them know how to make this a safe and happy holiday.
I've got several. They're on our website, too. This is actually, I put these up back in 2016 when we first got this website. But they still apply today. And like you just said, do not leave purchase items in plain view in your vehicle. Place them in a trunk, cover them with a blanket, do something. If they can see it and it's valuable, they will break a window. Of course, unfortunately, we make it easy for them sometime by leaving our vehicle unlocked. Like you just said, make sure you lock your vehicle. That's true at your house, too. And then we've interviewed a number of these guys, Bob, that enter autos, and they like unlocked cars. But they will tell you in a heartbeat that if they see something like a laptop or something valuable, they will bust a window. But they don't like breaking windows because it makes noise. And they'll tell you that. So we normally can find enough unlocked cars to get whatever we want.
So they take the path of least resistance is what it is.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Another thing that you should do if you shop at night, park in a well-lit area. That's always a good idea. When possible, avoid shopping alone, especially out of town. Sometimes Savannah's a little bit dangerous, Brunswick as well. And if you get in dark parts of the parking lot, you're setting yourself up for somebody to try to rob you. We suggest you use checks, debit cards, credit cards, and don't carry a minimum amount of cash with you. Because that's what most of the time they're looking for, of course. Don't think they won't take a credit card now, because they will. Be aware of strangers approaching you. If you're in these cities, you got a lot of people. You got beggars. You got people trying to solicit funds from you. They may be trying to sell a raffle ticket or posing like they're selling raffle tickets. So you got to be careful of those things. And then that goes back to staying in a lighted area where you be seen, or a heavily populated area. Mm-hmm. That's always a good idea. Don't leave your purse or wallet unattended. How many times I've just in our Walmart that I walk by a grocery cart with a purse sitting there and somebody's 2 aisles over. It can happen that quick. Mm-hmm. But be careful about those things. If you're using ATMs, be careful about your surroundings. Try to get one where it's in a populated area. Man, be careful because, a lot of people get robbed at ATMs, especially during this time of the season when it's hustle and bustle, it's crowded. Police, we can't be everywhere. But then
I know there are a lot of stores, especially for the women, that if they request someone to walk them out to their vehicle, that the security or a clerk will walk them out there to it, right?
Yeah. A lot of places will.
Yeah.
Identity theft's a big deal nowadays, as you well know. So protect your information. Check your bank statements, credit card statements, and look for anything that's unusual on it. Protect yourself against identity theft as best you can. And, of course, we can't say enough about the scams that are going around. It's unbelievable, the number. We try to put them on our Facebook page and our website.
Anything particular hot this Christmas season in terms of scams that y'all see popping up a lot?
Well, I'm hearing they're calling by phone and claiming to be from the Georgia Sheriff Association. I know that one's going around, which we never solicit by phone, and we tell you that.
Emphasize that again, because people fall for that all the time. You get these calls, they call up there, say, from the Sheriff's Association, they're collecting money and all that. Emphasize again, the people listening, the sheriffs, they never do that. They do not solicit by phone.
The only thing you get from the Georgia Sheriff Association in Wayne County will be a letter signed personally by me that's telling you about our youth homes. That's usually what we're trying to raise money for. But
and that comes in the mail,
do
right?
telemarketing. Yeah, it comes in the mail. We don't do telemarketing, period. Or you can go to our website. There's a place on there to donate. But the sheriff's office.
There's good-hearted people out there. They get a call. This is the Georgia Sheriff Association. Would you like to make donations? Most people think, yeah, I'm doing a good thing, but they're getting scammed and they don't even know it. So I just want to emphasize people out there: the Georgia Sheriff Association does not ever solicit by phone. So if you get one of those calls, do not fall for that, because a lot of people unfortunately fall thinking they're doing a good thing helping the Sheriff's Association, but it's just a scam.
And it's a lot of money. Certain ones do, and it's over and over and over. It's not, they'll find out and they'll keep targeting that certain person.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
they'll invest a lot of money.
So I just want people to spread that word that, do not fall for that Sheriff's Association. What about the police? Is there anything with the police? They don't do it by phone either?
No, most of those, I don't know about those. I know some of the organizations do telemarket. Do it by whatever you call that stuff on the phone where they call you telemarketing. I guess it is called, but we don't do that. But you just have to take a little time and investigate it, find out. I mean, your police chief will know if the police department's doing something.
They can call the Sheriff's Department, the police department, ask if that's
or if it's any peace officer fund, they'll know if you call them. Most of them, some do, and I don't know which ones do, but it's best to just investigate it. The Sheriff's Association does not, in any form, use a telephone.
We try to tell people, in the scam situation, if it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true. But, unfortunately, we get these stories every year where somebody falls for one of these scams, and somebody, so we're just trying to advise everybody, just be aware of what's taking place, especially the elderly people, be guarded, do not, because that's who they prey on. They prey on the elderly people a lot.
It'll come from a local number, too. It'll be like a local cell phone number, and that really confuses people.
How do they do that?
I'm not sure. But
and then you call it back from another line just in case, from something else, and it says it's disconnected.
Yeah. That's why I tell people, I said if you're not sure, I said hang up and call the number right back and see if they answer.
Yeah.
Well,
most of the time they won't.
And you got to be careful of that, too, because, they've got apps. They can make it look like he might be in India, but he'll look like he's calling from backslid.
That's right. It does. It's got that 912 area code.
But the other thing is you call back.
I had
this the other day. He was going to get arrested by the U.S. Marshals because he didn't show up for court. Well, they gonna come to your house. They're not gonna call you on the phone and request money. Trust me. When you see the U.S. Marshal knocking on your doors, you're not having a good day. But anyway, in this particular case, he called and then he left. They left a number, and if you dial that number, you got an answer machine. It was a female on there, says she was from U.S. Marshal's office in Savannah. Well, we deal with U.S. Marshal Service enough. We know their numbers, so we can just call them.
Right.
So no, so we just got. They had just got it on their teletype. That scam was going around.
Right. Somebody just texted in. Mention. What is this? Mention the oil rig scam. The oil rig scam. Is that a name of a scam?
Yeah. Well, it's. I know what he's talking about. This particular one is some guy supposedly on an oil rig has got his son he's got to have X number of dollars before he can get his son out of whatever country he's being held in, or he's got to get him. There's several ways they do that.
Yeah, okay. All right. That one.
Well, we've had a couple here in our county that's invested $100,000 or more.
Wow.
And and they believe that this is real, but it's not.
Jeez. All right. And I know this is not scams, but I'm going to go ahead and do this because, we encourage folks to text in, and y'all can answer this with, it says, Do you think there is a rapist loose in Kville? Are they giving a description of the suspect? In the absence of information, rumors will fly. Just like you were saying a few moments ago, Sheriff Carter, that rumors will fly. So, can you answer this person's questions and concerns and fears?
We don't believe so. We don't believe we got a serial rapist. We're investigating a sexual assault.
Okay.
But there's certain things we got to open investigation. Therefore, we're not going to release a lot of information. We do have a sketch out there of a suspect.
Okay.
And that's posted. We posted that all over. We're doing what we can do. We followed the leads that we can find, and we've interviewed. But we don't believe we got a serial rapist.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that helps them with their fears. Donnie?
To back up a little bit and talk about social media, there's 4 of us at the Sheriff's Office on our social media, and we don't monitor it 24 hours. But we try to keep the rumors down, but we can't even keep up with them with the 4 of us. Just like the missing juvenile, we had so many reports that we wasn't. But I want people to understand on social media, we don't put everything we're doing on social media.
No.
Especially in investigation, it's going to be just what we're looking for. Please help us. If it's a vehicle, we'll give you a description. As a person, we'll give you a description. But we don't go into details on social media.
You don't want to hurt your investigation
Correct.
that type of way. Person said thanks for answering their question about the oil rig thing.
You are welcome.
Okay.
John, a lot of people ask all the time, how many people are employed by the Sheriff's Department? How many deputies you have? What's the rotation, day, night, things like that?
Or you mean
About number of officers?
patrol deputies or number of people?
Number of people, the whole...
Because, we got jail, we got 911 center, we got patrol, we got detectives.
I'm just curious. People ask all the time.
Total, we got 73 people.
73
on the
people.
road, we got 4 per shift.
And what's a shift? Explain.
Shift's a 12-hour shift. They
12
start at
hours.
6A to 6P and 6P to 6A. And we got a split man that comes in about 12. If we ever get them filled up, we'll have 4.5, you might say.
Okay. Somebody wanted to know, they have not seen any sketch anywhere of that Kville incident. Is there a place where a person can go, a site or anything, that they can see a sketch of that person in the Kville area?
The sketch right now, I think, is just for law enforcement.
Just for law
They've been
enforcement.
passing it around
Okay.
for law enforcement.
All right. Okay. Go ahead.
There's a GBI lady coming, done the sketch.
Did the sketch. Okay.
Yes.
So law enforcement has it, and y'all don't want to do anything to hurt your investigation, so you're not putting it out there in the public.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Where we're using it is as we get people that we're interviewing, or we're using it for that at this point in time.
Okay. All right.
But scams, social media is a nightmare sometimes for us because you get more accurate information at the National Enquirer sometimes than you do social media. But they will believe social media before they'll believe us with the facts.
It's just amazing how you people. I've said it before when you've been here. People always say that that's just too good to be true, but they never say that's too bad to be true. And somehow negative information on social media, people tend to believe it for some reason. And there's no fact checking there. You have people put negative stuff on there or false information on there all the time just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Or they heard something from somebody else. And that's the reason why I know that Bob is always trying to get the facts from y'all and from the city police and the GBI to put the facts out there to try to push down some of these rumors.
Well, all I can tell you, the men and women of the Wayne County Sheriff's Office are working day and night to try to make this community as safe as they can. Now they're not perfect. Do they make mistakes? Of course they do.
Yeah, we all do.
But they're not trying to intentionally hurt anybody. I'll assure you of that.
Not at all. But I know that y'all do a fantastic job. See y'all out there all the time doing your best to try to make this community safe for the citizens of Wayne County.
How's the holiday season been so far? Has it been?
It's been busy. It started before Thanksgiving, and we have been nonstop. Those guys out last night, like I said, we had 3 juvenile runaways that we've been dealing with for about 3 or 4 days. But anyway, we got all 3 of them last night. Thank goodness. I think 2 of them have been sent to YDC. Of course, they'll have to come back for a hearing. But anyway, we got some of that solved because anytime we got a kid missing, that's serious to us.
Yeah, definitely.
these were technically runaways. They weren't abductions, and that's some confusion we get. If you got confusion on Amber Alert, go to the GBI's website. It'll tell you Amber Alert runaways aren't considered abductions, so they're not going to put that on Amber Alert.
Right.
The GBI decides what goes on the Amber Alert, not us.
And usually they have a description.
And there's several other alerts, like Silver Alert for age people with dementia and that kind of stuff. So they're different. There's several different alerts that they use.
Right.
One for police officers as well. So,
okay.
But I'll get back to my tips if y'all want me.
Go right ahead, John. Back to your tips.
Well, I had it in these 3 categories. Of course, the one about the shopping. This is about home, what to do, because a lot of people are going to be out of town for the holidays, maybe through Christmas, maybe all the way through New Year. But if you are, make sure you got everything locked up, carports, anything unlocks, an invitation for a burglary. There we said social media. That's also an invitation for burglary. If you're put on that you are going somewhere, or if you are somewhere, you send pictures, you post all over Facebook, people know you're not home.
That's right. Don't do it. Wait till you get back.
Secure your valuables. I mean, if you got valuable jewelry, guns or something, make sure it's secure. Either jewelry, especially, I suggest either give it to somebody you trust, like your young'un or something, that can lock it up for you. Leave it lighted, like so it can it looks like somebody's there. Some people even leave TVs on. Activate your alarm system if you got it. Get a trusted neighbor to pick up or family to pick up your mail for you. Those are things, just tips that you should do anytime you go out of town, but especially during Christmas season.
Basically make it look like somebody's home.
Well, the other thing you got that's not in this particular group here, packages coming from UPS or FedEx or something. People will steal them off your porch now. Make sure that you're going to be home if you're going to send it to. Like a lot of times, I have mine sent to the sheriff's office. I don't send it to,
right,
because I live out in the middle of nowhere anyway. But and the other thing is, like I said, but a lot of people are going to be going to parties. This thing, this is a simple one. Don't drink and drive. It's that simple. Don't do it. And I could go further into that over here. That. Drunk and impaired drivers are major causes of traffic crashes. We know that. We go through when Captain Hires out here with our coastal area traffic network, enforcement network. But biggest hazards I think we face now are speed and distracted driving. Those two things are hurting us as much as anything else. And
people are in a hurry, aren't they? I mean,
they are.
My word, you can be driving there around the speed limit and they blow your doors off. I think, my word, were they going in such a hurry?
But even with the hands-free law, the texting is still a problem. Just changing channels on the radio. Anything you do to distract and you're not looking at the road, especially when you're in heavy traffic, that's not a good thing to do. Or eating, or even talking to passengers, especially. Some people have to look at somebody to talk. I mean, if you're in the back seat, they got to turn around and look at you. They can't
look
talk.
At the passenger, huh?
Yeah. But and those are just small things. But statistics indicate that most fatalities or serious injuries involve speeding, no seatbelt, or DUI, no seatbelt. That's where majority of your serious injuries and traffic fatalities happen. So, just don't drink and drive. That was a simple one I gave you.
The no texting and driving law has been in effect for the entire year. I'm just curious, have there been a lot of tickets written on that?
And also no hands. You can't have a phone in your hand either, even talking.
So, have y'all made a lot of cases on that, or a lot of tickets, or how's that gone this year, Donnie?
I hadn't seen a big increase in them here lately,
So
but
people get
the speeding, seems like we get more and more speeders coming through, yes, sir.
And I haven't seen a lot of. I've seen some, but I haven't seen a lot of them either. Because if they see a marked car, they're gonna not do it. I've seen in my personal car, I've seen more. But I can't do anything about that.
You mentioned a rumor, social media, there are a lot of rumors about your future, Sheriff. I talk to you all the time, are you or not, I want to clarify that for everybody, because everybody seems to know your future but you. I talk to you on a regular basis. I keep telling people, I said, he tells me he's running. So.
At this point in time, I plan on running. That there again, I've told you all this many times before, told you last election. It depends on, number one, do the people of Wayne County want me to continue to be their sheriff? Number two, is my health good enough to do it? And number three, do I have the passion to carry on and try to be innovative and save tax dollars and then make it a safer place for us? If I don't, any one of those three don't exist, I don't need to be there.
But at this time and point, you plan to be there, right?
That's my plan. But, and I'll say this, not because he's sitting here, but there's not a sheriff in the state of Georgia that won't tell you that if you don't have a good chief deputy, you're not going to be successful. You're just not. But I'm lucky enough to have a good chief deputy. I've been lucky enough to have three, actually, since I've been sheriff. But, and it takes every one of them. My people, like I tell them, I say, hey, y'all don't work for me, you work with me. We work together. We come out with them. They know that we'll do anything that they'll do. We won't ask them to do anything that Chief Ray and I won't do. Okay. But we have a good rapport with them, and I can't be prouder of the men and women at Sheriff's Office. I'm telling you, they work hard. We got so many duties. People think it's just as law enforcement, but we got courts, we got jail, we got papers to serve, we got prisoner transports from all over the nation, all over the state that we have to do, and Sheriff's Office is pretty busy. Actually, I think I got close to 70 things I'm mandated by either common law, constitution, or statutory requirements that I have to do. It doesn't say if you want to. It doesn't say if a county's got enough money. It says you will do it. Mm-hmm. And, so those are things that we have to deal with, and I think we do a good job.
Yep, I think most people do. Y'all do a good job.
Again, I just want to thank y'all for coming in. I said the new year's about to begin. I'm sure you'll be a regular in 2019 like you were in 2008. I'd always appreciate you coming in. Like I said, I think it's good for the community to hear from the sheriff about, and like I said, try to cut down all the social media rumors that are out there and all that. Let people know what's taking place. It's best to hear from the person who's in charge of the investigations. So I appreciate you coming in and giving the information. I appreciate the working relationship we've had over the years. Like I said, you've always got an open door policy. Anytime I call, you answer, and I appreciate that because the more information we can get out to our listeners, the better it is. So I just want to make sure people know that all those incidents that have happened over the last several months, they've not been thrown to the wayside. They're still open and active investigations. We continue to follow them, and we'll follow the court process as it follows through. We always do that as well. Like I said, we follow it not just from the arrest, but because there's some people sometimes they get arrested and the charges don't stand up. I mean, that happens sometimes as well. They go to court and they're found not guilty. So we try to follow the court process as much as we do the law enforcement process of it. But like I said, it's very costly. You mentioned that as well. That's part of the budget. People have to act all the time. You have to have a safe environment. That's the most important thing for a community. Police department, sheriff's department, without it, you have chaos. So you got to have local law enforcement, and we appreciate you guys putting your life on the line every day. Like I said, I don't think you get thanked enough, especially this time of year, or this time of where we're in, where people are bashing law enforcement and talking. I think Wayne County supports law enforcement wholeheartedly, appreciates the job you guys do, and again, I just appreciate the working relationship I've had with you, Sheriff, over these many years. Like I said, it's always been open door policy, and anytime I need to get information, we do get it, and we do appreciate it. But I appreciate you being here on the show, and like I said, you got an open invitation anytime you need to get out here. I know when we had the bad weather, when Donnie was with the EMA, same thing. We try to get as much information out to our listening audience as we possibly can, but I think a lot of people, the ratings on this show are pretty high, and a lot of people use this show for a format because they know people are tuned in. That's why we get people like Johnny Isaacs in and Buddy Carter. I tell people all the time, they don't call because they like us. They call because they know people are tuned in and they can get their message out. So I appreciate you coming in, and like I said, look forward to another great year, 2019. Wish you and your family, and Donnie, you and your family, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and again, thanks for coming in.
Well, we wish citizens of Wayne County a happy and safe Christmas and New Year, as well as our friends in our surrounding counties, because I've got a lot of friends in every county that surrounds us.
All right. Thanks for coming in. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas,
Look forward to
y'all.
working with you all in 2019.
Thank you.
If you ever need us for anything, just give us a call.
Same
We
here.
truly appreciate it.
All right. 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, world famous Butch and Bob Show for this Wednesday morning, the 19th day of December. Brought to you by the Wolf Animal Hospital on West Cherry Street, Murphy Builder Supply, Northeast Broad Street, Women's Health Center in downtown Jesup on Cherry at Broad Street, and by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear.
The world famous Butch and Bob Show.